Hello and welcome back to Learn English with Podcast. I'm Kevin, and today we are talking about something that many people wonder about. Why do some people completely turn their lives around, while others stay stuck in the same place?
And I'm Sarah. This question is so real. You see someone go from struggling to successful, and you wonder, what is their secret? Are they just lucky? Or are they doing something differently?
Exactly. And when I think about this, I think about learning English. At first, it felt impossible. So many words, so many rules. But then, little by little, things started making sense.
I felt the same way. I kept thinking, if I just knew more words, I would be fluent. But it wasn't only about vocabulary. It was about building habits, changing my mindset, and actually using what I learned.
And that is the big lesson. Life works the same way. Big transformations don't happen overnight. It's not about one huge decision. It's about the small changes we make every single day.
And that is exactly what we are talking about today. How to change your life. We will cover why people feel stuck, the power of small habits, the importance of mindset, and how your environment shapes who you become.
So let's get started. Let's begin with an important question. Why do so many people struggle to make changes, even when they really want to?
Change sounds exciting, right? A fresh start, a new beginning. But here's the truth. Most people never actually make those changes. Why? Because change is hard.
There are 4 common reasons people feel stuck. The first is fear of failure. People ask, what if I try and fail? But here's a better question. What if you try and succeed? Every successful person has failed along the way. The difference is they kept going.
The second reason is lack of direction. Some people know they want a better life, but they don't know where to start. They think they need a perfect plan before taking any action.
The third reason is negative self-talk. Saying things like, I'll never be good at this, or I'm just not a language person. These thoughts stop progress before it even begins.
And the fourth reason? Waiting for motivation. People say, I'll start when I feel ready. But here is the secret. Motivation comes after action, not before. You don't wait to feel ready. You start, and then you feel ready.
I remember this from my own experience. I kept waiting for the perfect moment to start, but that moment never came until I just took the first step. And once I did, everything started falling into place.
That brings us to the key lesson. Understanding what is holding you back is the first step to changing your life.
Now that we understand what holds people back, let's talk about how to actually start making changes. It's not about dramatic overnight transformation. It's about small, daily improvements.
Have you heard of the 1% rule? If you improve just 1% every day, you will be 37 times better in a year. That is the power of small efforts compounding over time, just like interest in a bank account.
And this connects to the power of habits. James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits, how habits shape our identity.
Small changes may not seem big at first, but they redefine who you are over time. Think about reading just 10 minutes a day, practicing English for 5 minutes every morning, or replacing one negative thought with a positive one. These tiny actions, repeated daily, lead to massive results. I know someone who became fluent in English just by listening to podcasts every day. They didn't start with an intense study plan. They just took one small, consistent step, and they kept going. The takeaway is simple. Small, consistent actions lead to big results over time. So if you are wondering where to start, just pick one small habit today. Now, while taking action is important, there is something even more fundamental: our mindset. Because how we think about change makes all the difference.
There are two types of mindsets. A growth mindset says, I can improve. A fixed mindset says, I'll never be good at this. That one difference changes everything.
Our brain has a system called the Reticular Activating System, or RAS. It filters information based on what you focus on. That is why, when you learn a new word, you suddenly hear it everywhere.
So if you keep telling yourself, I can't do this, your brain will find evidence to prove it. But if you say, I am improving every day, your brain will focus on that progress instead.
3 powerful ways to reprogram your mind are affirmations, visualization, and gratitude. Positive self-talk, like I am getting better every day, reshapes your thoughts over time.
Visualization, seeing yourself succeed, trains your brain to believe it's possible. And gratitude practice helps your brain focus on opportunities instead of obstacles.
It's not magic. It's about training your brain to work for you, not against you.
Now, there is one more thing that holds people back: waiting for the right moment to start.
So many people believe they need to be completely ready before they take action. But here is the truth: you will never feel fully ready. Progress comes before confidence, not after.
When I was learning English, I hesitated to start speaking because I didn't feel ready. I kept thinking, what if I make mistakes? But the more I waited, the harder it became.
And when you finally started?
Once I started speaking, even with mistakes, I realized that every conversation was building my confidence. I wasn't perfect, but I was improving, and that's the key.
There is a concept I love. Done is better than perfect. Too many people delay action because they want everything to be just right. But imperfect action is always better than no action. Whether it is learning English, starting a new habit, or making a big life change, just begin.
So here is a quick challenge for you. Think of one thing you have been postponing. It could be practicing English, starting a workout, or reaching out to someone for help. And then take one small step today. Not tomorrow, today. Because action leads to momentum, and momentum leads to confidence.
Now let's talk about something many people overlook: your environment. Because it is not just about what you do, but who and what you surround yourself with.
There is a famous saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you are surrounded by negative, unmotivated people, it is hard to stay inspired. But if you are around positive, goal-driven people, their energy and habits will naturally influence you.
So, how can you create an environment that supports growth? First, follow inspirational people, authors, speakers, online creators who push you to think bigger. Exposing yourself to positive influences will shift your mindset over time.
Second, join online learning communities. There are so many groups for English learners and personal development. When you are part of a community that values growth, you naturally start improving too.
And just as important as adding positive influences is reducing exposure to negativity. Limit time with people who constantly complain. Cut down on negative news and social media that drain your energy.
When I was learning English, I felt stuck for a long time until I joined an English learning community. Suddenly, I had people to practice with, share struggles with, and celebrate progress together. That made all the difference.
So here is something to think about. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Are they helping you grow or holding you back? If they are not pushing you to be better, it might be time to make some adjustments.
Now, let's bring everything together. You have more control over your life than you think. Small changes, the right mindset, and a strong environment can completely transform who you are.
Tip 1. Understand what is holding you back. Fear, lack of direction, negative self-talk, and waiting for motivation. Once you recognize these, you can break them down.
Tip 2. Improve 1% every day. Pick one small habit and start today.
Tip 3. Train your mindset. Use affirmations, visualization, and gratitude every day.
Tip 4. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Done is better than perfect. Take imperfect action today.
And tip 5. Build a positive environment. Surround yourself with people and content that push you to grow.
Progress doesn't happen overnight, but every single step gets you closer to where you want to be.
So, what is one small change you are making today? Write it in the comments. We would love to hear from you.
If this episode helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this.
This is Learn English with Podcast. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Sarah. Keep growing, one small step at a time. See you next episode. Take care, everyone.